Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer. The time has come. This is the final thing on our great big checklist of stuff. I mean, except for provinces, but we'll worry about that once we have all of these provinces. We do need to start a new research, so let's get leadership bonus for skeletons.
Yes.
And
My will is done.
okay, so what's going to happen when we do this? Montfort is currently empty. That's interesting. I wonder when that happened. So these are properly Bretonnian settlements. So I'm glad to see that these are currently vacated. I'm wondering if the Wood Elves did this. There's actually a couple of Wood Elf settlements that are also all screwed up. What is happening down here? Also, we know that we saw the Beastmen down here briefly not too long ago. I wonder if they have something to do with it. So basically, no, nothing is going to be coming up at Helmgart. Helmgart is as well defended as it could possibly be. There's nothing we could build here that would help that at all. All right. Let's do it. So we need this. Hey, Bretonnia.
Do you wish the lady's favor?
I know we have a non-aggression pact right now, and breaking it in this way is going to make our allies a little more nervous about us, but we managed to maintain steadfast reliability all this time. I think we'll be okay. So let us declare war. Ostermark doesn't really care for them. Nordland kind of likes them. And Ziflin doesn't like us, may follow them into war. Hopefully not. If they do, we'll kill them. Okay. Well, the Wood Elves will like this. Now that we're at war with Carrick Ziflin like they wanted. Alright, so we can take this whole province from them. Gorsel and Marienburg together make up the province known as the Wasteland. Sure, loot and occupy. We're going to need a lot of money for the things we're doing. Oh, hey, we've become a master of the black arts. Handy. Alright, let's start building walls. I have a feeling it might be important. That's a Carrick Ziflin army to the north of us, by the way. Alright, we'll pick up Arcane Conduit as well. So they're suffering attrition because the vampiric corruption in this region is high. It's not, but that's still why they're suffering attrition. And actually, I kind of think that we might need to do a Balefire Brazier here. If we upgrade it all the way, it will... All the way is only up to here. But it will help corrupt the adjacent provinces as well. And it's probably valuable.
King of Darkness.
Okay, and I don't think we're going to need assistance, but the more people we bring to this battle, the less damage we're going to take.
The world will be mine.
The game drastically overvalues superior numbers. And this, I don't think we will loot this one. As much money as this is, I don't want to damage Marienburg any more than we absolutely have to. That's a short campaign victory there. We're not done yet. We've slain Bianca the Devoted. We've become strict, finally. This is helpful. Okay, so we downgraded Marienburg a little bit. It's not too bad. As you can see, the Marienburg port is 500, 1,000, 2,000, just like Ehrengrad. So, pretty great. Actually, I'm kind of curious, though. What exactly was the short... Oh, short campaign was just... Okay, so we got to 15 provinces. This is what tipped us over there. The short campaign does not require us to kill... These guys, Bretonnia. So, we're headed toward Wind of Death. Interestingly, he has Diviner at the top of his tree instead of the thing that gives you extra winds of magic. It's weird. Well, let's keep getting our magic, because I really do want to get Winds of Death on everybody I can get it on. It apparently is incredible. So we can go to Gisaru and harass this person, but that is a brand new lord. Why don't we use you as a scout? We know that Bretonnia at one point had 6 or 7 large armies, but there's clearly been some stuff going on over here. Gisaru is on the front of a large campaign of destruction. I guess Castle Baston is really... so let's... It looks like his forces are pretty depleted right now, actually. He's got a lot of armies, but he doesn't have a lot of units in those armies. Alright, so Pierre is going to be the first to threaten Couronne. I think Couronne is Bretonnia's actual capital. Damn, this location is not of special importance to me. Do we see any special importance locations that have my name on them? Because I'd like to find those. Aquitaine, Bordelot. Oh, Bordelot does... Bordelot has a port. So it probably has a special port. I played briefly as Bordelot in a series on the channel, but I do not remember. So I still think we do need to upgrade Eilhart. Like, it's going to be available through this pass pretty easily, so we want to make sure that we get walls around that. I do want to upgrade this as well. We need to drive up corruption in this region and all the surrounding regions. We have to be wary of dwarf armies. The mountains here form a kind of a C-shape, keeping them away from Reichland, but dwarf armies can go underground, underneath mountains. So we have to be really careful about that. We should also probably upgrade to Gallows where we can. We have a lot of regions that are kind of on crappy approval. We need all these points of public order. What do I want to do about this region? I'm hoping that I don't have to build walls here. Because we don't have infinite money, right? We do have to... We do have to be a little bit careful. Dyes. Am I currently trading dyes? Well, dyes add a new... Somewhere around here I have a... Oh, this button. Yes, dyes I do have. Adding a new resource seems to be a lot more valuable than simply upgrading the quantities of an existing resource. We actually could be building a salt mine. We do not currently have salt. Let's do that instead of building a brazier. We'll build a brazier here. And then what? Recruitment buildings, maybe? Public order is going to be necessary. And I'm sure that this region will not stay friendly the moment we leave. Yeah, okay, let's put up the public order and income building as well. And this is just income. It is only 600 payout for 100 income, though. It pays for itself pretty quickly. Okay, it's looking good. Let's get Abarash. I don't think I have to finish off Bay of Blades. I think we can trust our allies to do that for us. So let us instead threaten the Longship Graveyard. Alright, Prague is going to be under control pretty soon here. So I think I'm going to move this guy over to these provinces where we're not quite so under control. This Erengrad is particularly my concern here. Okay, Zoishenk needs to complete its walls. That's really important. Oh yeah, and we do have the Wasteland controlled now, so let's public order. Plus 8%, wow. The corruption generated by our characters is tremendous. Alright, let's see what the Bretonnians do in response to our sudden incursion. They're gonna go take Mousillon. That's fine with me. Mousillon. Yeah, it looks like they have a lot of armies, but not a lot of troops. They burned down the Bay of Blades. Fantastic. It looks like Ostermark just wants to keep going. Man, I love this. We don't have a formal agreement of any kind with the Dwarves of Jufbar. I think we might want to fix that. The Greenskins are wogging... Okay, down here. We're going to be aware of the Greenskins a lot more since the Dwarves started talking to us about them.
What do you want, blood drinker?
Damn. Really, we're going up to 106 and they're not interested in a defensive alliance? That's a shame. Alright, Carrick Ziflin doesn't care for us, I believe. Like, even outside of the war.
Talk at me in your crude language if you must. I make no
Yeah.
promises as to the outcome.
Wow, they really hate that we broke that treaty with Britannia. Okay, I was gonna see if we could maybe get peace out of them, but never mind.
Descendant of Baturi.
Alright, let's level these guys up, and then we have to see what we can do about this dwarf army, because we can't really leave Gorsel until this is handled. Alright, new mounts for everybody, apparently. We can attack them once, and at least send them running. I feel like if somebody attacks you while you're in the encamp stance, you should just have to fight them. How do I want to position myself? I guess down here? I don't want them to be able to move downward.
Don't think so.
If we can keep him from recruiting new units and just keep him running, that's going to be powerful for us. So Vlad cannot reach Coron. I'm wondering if we maybe need to split these two armies up. Vlad comes down through the pass, and we have Pierre continue through the north. Do I want to use my Banshee to try to break the walls down? Probably not. I think probably Pierre has this under control. So let's take Coron. Okay, well we could build some siege equipment. I was kind of hoping to like do this and bail, because I don't really want to fight over it. I figured that the Vargolf would be good enough. Why don't we break off the siege? Hold on. And I am gonna have Bertha. Oh, I pressed the button that is continue siege. Break off the siege. We'll have Bertha hit their walls, and then we'll see if that gives us any better odds. Whew, that's expensive. Likely to work, though. Okay, that did not really help very much. Okay, we'll build a couple of siege towers. I'd rather not have to manual that battle. Okay, you don't get a debuff for successfully damaging walls. It seems to only be assassination that does that. Alright, well, if we can hit him now, hit him really hard. What do you mean preposterous? Just go over there. Vlad got tired halfway through walking. Had to be goaded to continue. I think we can probably do a loot and occupy. On most of the settlements, the ones that are unlikely to have any meaningful buildings in them in the first place, the loot and occupy isn't really a big deal. Okay. We definitely already have furs. So what do I want to do? So just like start building walls every time I take something, immediately start building walls. Walls and like a gibbet. Yeah, you know, that's not actually crazy. Alright, so Isabella did her thing. Everybody has done their thing, basically. Abarash still has his turn coming. If I take you back to normal movement... Oh, he can't quite reach the... Okay, back. Is he getting... Huh. Why is he getting replenishment this turn? Does he get replenishment as long as we stay within this sea? Like, am I considered to control this sea? If I move to the other side of it. Yeah. Okay, well, let's end our turn here. We'll get a turn of smaller replenishment, and we're not really losing a lot of movement by taking a short one. Okay, Valdakir needs to get into
To the shadows.
Zoishenk.
My blood.
Okay, that's enough to turn around its approval. We want to upgrade this so that we can upgrade the port. Norden has a 200, 400, 800 port. That's still pretty good. But again, money is a little bit tight. We have a big income, but we're spending a ton. Man, I wish we could bring the Red Duke back. I still can't, right? Yeah, he's not even at the bottom of the list waiting for some kind of thing. Okay. I think we're good for the turn. Is there any place in the Empire... Okay, we're building to level 2, not from level 2. Marienburg and Gorsel have all of their slots occupied. Yeah, we're done. So Gorsel adding a new resource to our trade pacts should be pretty good for us. I wonder if we can make the Crooked Moon Goblins our friends if we wipe out Carrick Ziflin. Because I bet the Crooked Moon and Carrick Ziflin have been fighting forever. I'm kind of hoping that we might get lucky here and that Bretonnia might decide they want to fight the rebels for Musalon. That would be pretty handy for us. Musilon. Wow, he did not run very far. Well, I think he's dead. Please stop telling me about Musalon. This is not mine. Wow. Yeah. The prattling kingdoms to the south of the Black Mountains contain peevish mortals that are insignificant, and yet demand attention. Should we care? Yeah, sure, let's send them ghouls. We'll live with the consequences of demanding a vampire count's attention. Man, I'd be a lot more menacing if I could, like, say words. Oh, they ran just out of range.
Join me for dinner.
Well, again, we can try to block them off from, if I move to, like, here. Yeah, my circle's large enough that I think it will block them from moving out that way. They'll have to move this way. Yeah, I just, like, it's annoying, but this force has to be removed or else, they're going to potentially take land from us, and I cannot have that right now. Vlad's army's not even taking damage. So I guess we just push on. If we take Castle Artois, we can sweep down this way. Basically, if we take Castle Artois, Couronne, and Languive quickly, these two armies can be back to reinforcing each other.
Bring them death. Shed their blood.
Although maybe Vlad doesn't need any reinforcement. Maybe he's capable of conquering all of Bretonnia on his own. He is kind of an amazing unit, I have to say. Yeah, this castle probably doesn't have anything that we wanted it. What do you mean, likes humans? Alright, we've acquired an awful lot of things that I don't care about. Castle Artois. So we got the Forest of Arden, this one more region toward our count. Oh yeah, wherever there are beasts, any province where there are beasts, we can build the beast upgrades, the dark layer thing. Let's build a brazier here as well. We're gonna have to create a lot of corruption as we continue to push forward. And we must have logs already. Yeah. So I'm not too worried about that. But let's make a, oh, I already made the upkeep or the income structure. Well, I kind of think that we don't really need to make anything else. I'm not going to worry about trying to create recruitment buildings and stuff as we conquer new things. Alright, so how does Corone look now that we have a siege tower? It looks not that great. To be perfectly honest, we may have to just do this manually. I think that's what it's looking like. But, let's run the ban sheet down to like here. I don't think I want to divert Vlad north or anything. That seems like a terrible use of our time. But I was hoping we'd be able to get an auto-resolve just so that I can't screw up the siege battle. Emmanuel von Karstein, I think, is really going to lean into this carrying corruption around with us thing. Alright, Isabella's working, Vlad's working. Abarash, do your thing. Did Ostermark... I wonder if Ostermark hit this already. Yep, it looks like they did already hit this. So this will be all sacked out. There won't be any money here. So we'll just burn it. I love this, actually being allied, like we're working together, and this is wonderful. This game has pretty good AI sometimes. AI that behaves like a player is what is generally meant when I say pretty good AI. I don't necessarily want AI that's always going to do the best thing, always the most dangerous thing, but I do want AI that's going to feel like I'm playing with another person. Okay, we do already have pottery, so we don't necessarily need to construct this building. We should definitely do that, though. And honestly, this. Okay. Fort Ostrach is also going to need to continue getting upgrades. I'm not going to feel safe until these things are a little more upgraded. I guess I don't really want to... We could make a growth building. We're having kind of bad growth in this region, and it's inhibiting the development of Ostrach. How's Kislev? Kislev is 11 points, 11 turns off of the population surplus that we need. But we have a gold mine somewhere, too, that's not upgraded all the way. That's going to be 4,000. Yeah, we're making good use of our money. I'm not too worried about keeping every last penny of it spent. Alright, so we'll let Pierre build one more siege tower. Just throw a bunch of stuff on the queue here. I don't want to keep him distracted for too long. Oh, there's a Pegasus flying around this mountain. Isn't that cool? I guess they have a bunch of Pegasi? What is the plural of Pegasus? Is it Pegasi? They have a whole lot of flying horses out here. Oh, and we get to issue a commandment, and that commandment is going to be corrupt. Corrupt the land. Make awesome skulls appear everywhere. I wouldn't want to live anywhere that didn't look like the cover of a metal album. It kind of looks like the Bretonnian forces are just doing a sort of a retreat to arms here. Oh, this guy's turning around. He thinks he can save them. Or he's going to the ocean to sail off to the New World. Interesting. He's kind of bending around Isabella's army instead of fleeing in the most direct way from them. So I like the fact that once we got people over here and committed, yes, fine. I wish I could have just like had my people abandon Musion many, many turns ago, because we don't need to hold it. Or actually, it managed to last almost until the point that we're ready to retake it, which is kind of crazy. It's funny how hard it is sometimes to hold territory that you really care about, and then when you stop caring about stuff entirely, it doesn't get considerably more difficult to hold on to.
The world will drown.
So I don't want to run Vlad north, I don't think. Languille will fall to Pierre. And then I guess Pierre can resettle this stuff. But I think Vlad should keep exerting pressure. So let's get to this road. I don't think there's a lot of reason to put him into a hard march and cross the border. On this side of the border, we're, first of all, pretty much immune to shenanigans because we could run back to Gisaru and have the benefit of this increased garrison. Is there really 12 units? Oh yeah, I guess first level gates is 6 extra units.
Champion of the dark.
Yeah, I think he's fine here. We are going to have to manually take Kuron, apparently. Well, I'll let him finish building what he's building. He hasn't made the first ram yet, right? Yeah, let's finish making the first ram. Let's make it so the Vargulf doesn't have to punch the door down personally. Alright, growth here is pretty good. We really want Marienburg to hit Dark Castle level so that we can get the extra 1,000 income off of the dock. Well, we get to keep him running. Ooh, that's interesting. Now he's like totally, we don't have enough movement to take advantage of the fact that he's totally cornered by the thick forest. Do I have... I don't. I don't have an agent or another army or anything over here. Alright, this region is doing okay on public order. Go ahead and construct this just in case. Let's have a quick look through our provinces. What is red and falling? Okay, yeah, the Forest of Arden, that's to be expected. Reichland is red and falling. What can we do about that? Well, Eilhart needs, first of all, this, and secondly... Oh, I don't even have enough money to start. To be perfectly honest, I think that this is more important than the gate. Okay, we have... We'll have 2 more public order next turn. But I think we probably need to switch this to repress mortals. Alright, what else is red and falling? The Wasteland. And this. Honestly, if Kemperbad gets lost, it gets lost. It'll be trivial to retake it later. And Ostermark might even do it for us at some point. In addition... No, everything's fine. Everything else is fine. What is the story with this number? 7 of it is provincial instability, but that means 10 of it is not. We're going to have to get Isabella to help stabilize this region. Once she's done chasing dwarves. Yeah, it was the Beastmen, I guess, that were responsible for all the burnings. Well, we picked a good time to go to war. I'm not going to pretend that it was entirely on purpose. But, you know, we sort of had massed up already. Like, I had picked when I was going to go to war. And then we noticed that everything was all torn up. Huh. Nordland's army just ran right past those Varg. Okay, well, we're seeing a lot of the, there's a lot of encampments inside of the mountain range. Sirtha Ek? I remember this guy. We tried to murder him a bunch. Theoderic Gosser is having some problems. I don't suppose there's no way for us to get near him, is there? No, well, we're just going to have to take advantage of the distraction that he's creating. Man, there really are a lot of these settlements, aren't there? Jeez. Hey, Diederik the Manslayer has leveled up.
Unstoppable.
He's unstoppable, he says. I don't know, sounds right to me.
The von Garstein.
Are you guys seriously gonna siege this? Slow siege this? Because we could handle that for you. I'm glad we made peace with the beasts. It's a marriage of convenience that is going to turn out to be really powerful for us. Alright, I think we should just do it, maybe. It's going to be 5 more turns until they start suffering attrition, and another 9 turns after that until they're actually going to surrender. I mean, what it is basically, if you can get to attrition, 1 or 2 turns into the attrition timer, their forces will be so injured that they can't fight back. They have Grail Knights, which have 80 armor. Wow, those are some stats, man. 84 leadership? Knights of the Realm, a field trebuchet, armor-piercing missiles. Yeah, that's one way to describe what a trebuchet would do to a guy wearing armor. They have Pegasus Knights? Man, maybe I do just leave Pierre here until they starve out. I'm thinking that this might actually be a problem. Oh, we haven't fought a unit. We haven't fought an army that has archers in a really long time. They suffer from poor leadership and poor accuracy, though. I'm just concerned that we may not have the tools necessary to deal with 5 units of the best trained knights in the world, and then also 2 flying cavalry units on top of it. If this were Vlad or somebody, I might feel a little more confident, but Pierre is, first of all, apparently not wearing any armor. And secondly, pretty untrained. Here. Yeah, we're just going to wait him out. I'm just going to starve him out. Vlad can handle the rest of Britannia on his own, I think. So where's he going, though? So we have to control these regions. So we do have to resettle the stuff that's busted.
The von Carsteins have grown great indeed if they think to treat with me.
I'm sorry, who are you? I don't really know who this guy is. He hates beastmen. Okay, they're not interested in a military alliance anymore. Oh, hey, look, Karak Asgaraz actually is coming around on us. They don't love that we have treaties with all of their enemies, but they also love that we're killing... No, they don't love that we have treaties with half of their enemies, but they love that we're killing the other half. Should we... I mean, we could just go burn down... Yeah. While the beastmen are distracting Britannia, let's burn down Karak Ziflin. Because I don't want to have to deal with this garbage. This is a good use of our time. Boy, the other dwarves that we have access to are maybe not going to like this. But I really don't want these guys generating an army and then attacking me in the back as I'm trying to push southward. So now we have a huge amount of money. Elhart needs to be upgraded. Walls need to be built. Do they? Actually, maybe not. It's sort of interior now. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe instead we could build something else. Maybe like a recruitment building. Yeah, because we really do want to be able to recruit good stuff in Reichland. So these dwarves underweighted over to here. Actually, I was about to move her, but I think we probably want to take her out of march mode. If he tries, he underweighted through the forest, he went underground. So if he tries to pull that crap again, we might be able to catch him. Dieterschaffen has a busted up port. We should probably rebuild the port. It also has some real bad public order problems. In no small part because of this damn Karak Ziflin guy. Alright, I didn't actually decide what I was doing with Abarash. This is where the action is. This is where they've been remassing their armies, apparently. We can't get over there fast enough to save Gosser. He goes before the Vargs and the Scaling, so he might be able to run. But I think basically that heading out here to Ice Drake Fjord and all this nonsense is probably less important if we're going to wipe these guys out than heading up here and dealing with this stuff. Yeah, taking out a place that's called the Doom Keep. That might be a good one. Alright, so we're going to head up to the Bay of Blades and through the pass here, I guess. We get a turn of regeneration in the meantime. Okay, we gotta wait another turn before Arengrad's port can be upgraded. Bruno's good. Bertha should be doing stuff. Man, we have a lot of units and things to think about now. Castle Artois could be corrupting the landscape a little bit more effectively. Actually, this is a really good region to have that building in, because it's touching a lot of other regions that we haven't had a lot of personal access to yet. Are they going to go after those beastmen with those armies? It would appear that they were unsuccessful. Oh, here comes... I think that might be Alberic de Bordelot, the leader of this faction. If they were going to attack with 4 armies, why didn't they mass the 4 armies up and attack as one instead of attacking as a group of 3 and then a single lone army afterward? That seems strange. Well, Isabella might be able to attack them in the ships. Ooh, he actually ran deeper into the area. That's a decision that I'm not sure I understand. Their army is definitely dead. Sirthak's going to finish them off. Okay, bad guys in the Forest of Arden. And of course, they spawned as far as they possibly could from Vlad.
King of Darkness.
Fortunately, the close settlement has walls, and the far settlement has time, due to the close settlement having walls. But I think Vlad might have to
The world will
turn around.
in blood. Very well. It is done.
Because I don't want to have to reconquer any of this stuff.
Darkness. All shall perish. Massacre
Nope.
them.
Okay, well, she hit him, but she can't move again afterward.
Begone.
I wish they were taking more damage from attrition. 'Cause us chasing them around in territory that's tremendously unfriendly to them should have some kind of effect. So we can't colonize this. Okay, other human factions except Norska. Fair enough. So the question is, do we make landfall and eat a turn of attrition, or do we wait in the water just outside the Bay of Blades? My concern is if I don't move onto land, I might not have the movement necessary to attack their stuff next turn. Okay, we just have access to the bad raised dead pool here, unfortunately. So we could fold up some of these lesser units and recruit fresh units in their place, but I think it's probably not actually going to make much of a difference. Valdekir probably doesn't want to come after us. Bertha might have something exciting to do. Bertha should see... Can we catch up to Alberic? That is him. I wonder if she can kill him. That would be cool. More than a 55%, he may only be wounded. Aw. So they have... Yeah, it is as we thought. They have a lot of armies, but not a lot of units in them. This, by the way, is a terrible way to run force. They're paying all the extra upkeep for having their force split up over a bunch of guys, and they don't really have... They have, what, like one functional army of units? They should just combine them. Send some of those lords back to the... what do you call it? Back to the recruit menu. Okay, so Castle Bastogne is burned down. That's fine. We'll go in there and fix it up. It would have been better if we could have conquered it our own. Conquered it without that happening, because we would have at least been able to keep the city center upgraded. As it is, we unfortunately are going to have to rebuild it from the ground. He moves fast, considering how pudgy he is. And this is maybe going to be a little tricky with them having a full stack here. We're going to have to be careful. Yep, that's fine. Like I said, if this village burns down, that is A-okay with me. Kemperbad was providing no real benefit to us. Raid the following region, Blackstone Post, for 800 dark magic. 800 dark magic is, at this point in the game, not enough to compel me to do anything at all. Alright, let's wipe these guys out. He actually managed to pull together quite a force in that very brief time that he was prepping. I'll take the leadership buff. I think we're going to heal up enough to... Ooh, Wand of Jet. Okay, so it's just an arcane item that doesn't give miscast chance. Yeah, so Vlad is going to keep learning spells, and actually... What is Emmanuel using in that slot? Oh, she has no casting item at all. Okay. Let's equip some followers on her while we're here. She could also have an enchanted item. She should probably have armor. The Helm of Discord, which dramatically debuffs enemies. I think that's a fair thing for her to hold. Sword of Strife. Yeah, she's been running around with no gear at all. -8 melee attack for any flying units around her seems pretty good. We're actually at a point in the game where we might encounter a flying enemy. So here's the question. Does Vlad want to push west and recapture? No, I think we want to keep pressuring their armies. The crackdown should keep things relatively stable here for a little while. We really need to get Gisaru's walls up. It's like the only thing I'm really worried about. What does it cost to build the wood building? It's 600 and it generates 100 income. It'll pay for itself fast enough to be worth building. Alright, he's doing a fine job of standing outside that city and shouting insults at it. Carrick Ziflin's army didn't really go anywhere.
I go. Annihilate them.
Did they just, like, forget to move on their turn? Alright. A Dwarf Lord challenges us. There's much glory in silencing such challengers. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. That's a long-duration, high damage resistance buff. Inviolable. A mortal informer. He'll tell us where the magic items are, because mortals always know that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's plan to return to Gorsel. Unfortunately, it's gonna be a moment. Alright. Abarash. He can get to the Sarl encampment. Oh, he's in March mode. Okay, we could go raiding. If we start raiding, we will stop taking attrition damage. So we need to preserve half of our movement.
Through the shadows.
Okay, we're actually making a fair amount of money off of that, too. I'm kind of surprised. I don't know what they could have here that would be worth stealing. Let's make sure Erengrad is upgraded before we spend money on anything else in this province. So right now we're trending toward 87 corruption. If we were to leave here now, we would lose 5 public order due to military presence, which means that our military presence, or our public order, has finally stabilized in a good place. Right, we can build these walls. Alright, so we have a fair amount of control over the north now. And actually, because Waldekir no longer needs to hang out and cover this stuff, I think he's going to fall back to here. We got to get into Erengrad proper so that we can use this raised dead pool. Next turn we can pull some real units and he can go and support Abarash. I guess if you're going to end your turn in this area, we may as well do it in the city. Generate a little bit of extra public order. We're doing it, you guys. We're really doing it. Alright, Bertha can keep trying to kill people. Oh, I don't have any money. Okay, well, Bertha can get over here in a position where in the future she can try to kill people. So the Wood Elves are actually operating on a very small number of regions. I know that the Wood Elf economy is unusual from having read some stuff about the game, but I don't know exactly how it works. It would seem to me that leaving a bunch of stuff empty and ruined is maybe not the best play. But I guess, what do I know? I'm kind of surprised that Carrick Ziflin hasn't asked us for peace yet. Okay, here come the Varg. 2 full stacks, huh? Well, almost full stacks. I would rather not fight this. I think I'm a little overextended. Let's put plus speed on these guys. Them getting around quickly would be good. Oh, I had given them magic resistance, which is probably completely useless. Let's fall back. Oh wow, I didn't, like, actually go anywhere. If this was an AI player and they were only able to fall back in that direction a little bit, they would have gone all the way around the mountain range.
I am invincible.
Okay, so all of the Bretonnian armies fled. This is being sieged by beastmen, but they're not the beastmen that we have peace with. Although I guess we're not at war with these guys either. They're only at war with Bretonnia. That's kind of magical. Alright, this is Alberic's army. I still want to see if we can kill him. This is a high-value target. Bertha's a very proud Banshee. Ah ha ha ha! She did it. She successfully wounded Alberic and gotten away with it. Think of all the bragging rights. Okay, these guys are going to start suffering serious attrition damage, like, in a turn, right? 2 turns. Okay. This is not quite how I envisioned this whole process going, but it's working out. It's fine. We can finish Gorsel's wall. Isabella has her orders. She can just follow those, but we do need to upgrade these guys. Okay, so we're at the point where we're upgrading weapon strength for you. And honestly, like, I think this is probably over. I was concerned that we might end up getting our asses kicked a little bit by Bretonnia as we sort of readjust to fighting a new enemy with different capabilities, but honestly, we happened to show up at a good time when they were getting totally wrecked by other stuff. Bruno can learn to be better at murdering people. Murdering people is a fine and important skill that I can't imagine we will ever have quite enough of. Oh, I forgot to move Aberash, didn't I? I was so distracted by things in the south. Well, he's fought his way through worse odds than he has up there right now, I think.
Welcome. Sit.
Oh, that's very inconvenient for me, Ostermark. Because if they're no longer militarily allied with us, then their territory no longer counts as ours for the purposes of my victory condition. That's pretty bad for us, actually. Alright, there we go. That's the kind of move that the AI gets when it runs for me. So let's, Ostermark is encamped, rallying their forces. These guys are close enough that they would defend each other. We can probably make a march move back to our territory, right? No? I cannot see where the edge of my movement circle is on the snow. Okay, it only goes to here. If we get into the water, no. I think we want to bail, basically. Let's fall back, recoup, get Valdekir's back up, because he's got a very impressive army. Ghouls are awesome against these guys. And then we don't have to have 2 full stacks to fight them, I guess, but we should get some dudes who can try to stand and take a chariot charge. And then we could recruit, like... The Dire Pack's kind of garbage. But we could recruit them. And a Mortis engine to round it out. It causes terror, it regens our guys. Yeah, sure. Okay. So let's go right up to the border with these guys. I think that if he gets attacked and has to flee, his flee should take him back into reinforcement range. Maybe? I don't know. That might be too far. Well, I guess we'll see, because I'm not doing anything else with him this turn. Isabella already has orders. We need to figure out what Vlad is doing. Vlad's going to threaten Bordelot, I guess. I don't think we need to retake Castle Baston just yet. We could try to finish off the dwarves. Because the Beastmen kind of have the southern part of Britannia on lock. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. So I have to... here we go. We'll just raise Blackstone Post, and then we'll raise Carrick Ziflin afterward. And not have to worry about these assholes ever again anymore.
No mercy.
He's a siege expert. I would say that that is probably true. I don't know that he's ever conducted a siege, necessarily, but he's certainly a knocking buildings down expert. He's done a ton of that. Alright, so next turn we'll hit Carrick Ziflin and probably sack it rather than raising it. But then we'll raise it later. Alright, Marienburg needs... I mean, Marienburg needs to get a population upgrade. We're still really far off of that. We have 4,000 money left, which is enough to do what with? Nothing important, really. We could be upgrading our buildings in our recruitment buildings here in Altdorf. That's probably a thing that's worth doing. We want to make sure that we have the ability to reinforce should our current assault fail, although it's looking very unlikely. I think Vlad and Pierre probably could handle all of Britannia, and Isabella's coming to reinforce them right now, so things are only going to get better for us. It looks like the Bretonnians tried to break the siege and failed to defeat the Beastman army there. And it looks like my my military allies mostly want to keep fighting the Norskins, which is great. I had to wonder why Ostermark broke our alliance. It's like really inconvenient for me. Okay, the Crooked Moon are walking, that's fine. Oh wow, that was a huge amount of dark magic we got for that quest step. Alright, so let's run you back to friendly territory. Get our replenishment on for a couple of turns. Well, yeah, it's really only going to take a couple of turns, huh? Get you out of march mode so you're not tired if Sirtha Ek comes knocking. Or Olaf Bernhardsson, I guess. Isabella has her orders. Let's figure out Vlad needs to do a little bit of moving here. It looks to me like this should still be pretty easy. Ooh. Well, I don't really want to do a manual battle 54 minutes into a video. It always does seem to be the way, doesn't it? Iron Breakers. Charge defense, special ranged weapon that can't attack air. Interesting. Well, and of course all dwarves have magic resistance. It's just a natural racial thing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a turn of siege building, not because I intend to use real siege engines or anything, but just because I don't want to have that battle happen this turn. We can do it next turn, at the beginning of the next video. So our public order is still in the toilet. It's getting better. The military crackdown is adding 5 points of public order, though. So our vampiric corruption is net -2 right now. We're taking a penalty from characters, which is interesting because there aren't any characters in the region. But I think there are some characters have a thing that like affects adjacent regions as well as their own. But they shouldn't have any guys in adjacent regions. I don't know. I don't know what that's from. Alright, let's spend a huge amount of money, shall we? We really, really need the last slot in Altdorf to be open. Do I want to destroy the clay pit? Maybe. Because I'm thinking that we need to get a forge here. Blacksmith, you know? Grunberg probably needs its last slot open because I think it does need to have walls. I mean, Eilhart could make a forge. We won't be able to build Blood Knights, Hex Wraiths, or Black Coach or Mortis engines off of it, but it'll be good enough to build Graveguard and like stuff that I really need. Yeah, let's just put this up here in Eilhart. Does that mean that I want to tear this down and put up a wall? Because now, like, Eilhart's got increased strategic importance. No, it's still pretty internal. I don't think it's in any danger, really. Okay, Bertha. You probably have something you want to do.
You dishonor me.
A level 8 Lord. Chilfroy the Devoted is inside the wall, so we couldn't mess with him even if we wanted to. Well, this is Bohemond the Devoted. I think Bohemond is the leader of one of the lesser Bretonnian factions. Critical success! He's dead! That wasn't a wound. She killed him! Well, that's pretty cool. Alright, so now we're spreading vampiric corruption as best we can. And I think that is going to do it for this episode. We still have a lot of money. It feels like I should spend more. I don't know what I want to spend it on, though. Oh, I guess we don't even have a... Yeah, we should definitely have one of these. Okay, our characters are back in the area, so the thing is shut off. I guess the last thing I want to do before we exit the episode is figure out what's going on here. These guys like Britannia, so they're turning on us because of that a little bit. Well, is this their only...
Greetings on behalf of the Empire.
This is their only settlement. We could just wipe them out. It would be inconvenient to have to come back and do it, but, I mean... All this time supporting the true Emperor, and you have to go and turn your back on us now, in our moment of shared triumph. You fool. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode. Come back next time. There's a hell of a lot more violence to be perpetrated, and possibly some rebellions in waiting to be put down. We'll see you then.